Greetings. This is Elder Blacklight. Allah's 24/7. God Zone. God Vision. The name of this video is The Spirit of Do for Self Lives here in Detroit. And when you think of that, do for self, I think of Idlewild. I think of Temple Number 1, Lost Foundation of Islam. I think of the black auto workers creating an organization in the auto plants called Drum, a union for black auto workers started out at Dodge, Maine. I think of Motown. I think of Don Davis, the Independence, the Black Independent Bank. I think of R.J. Watkins, 88.1 FM, and his mentor, who WGPR 60 TV 62. Wow. Forgive me, I can't recall his name right now because I'm having a senior citizen moment, but it'll come to me, and I won't forget it again. I think of Don Barton, Don Barton's Cable Vision. Some more. Mayor Coleman Young. I also think of the community activists. I think of Supreme Minister John Muhammad. I think of Malik Shabazz. And there's more brothers. Kwame Kenyatta, Kwame Kilpatrick. Even though I gotta keep him in my thoughts. But check this out. This is talking about the word democracy. The word democracy actually means do for self. On a political level, it means the rule of the people. I mean, the people govern themselves, but they can also have someone to represent the people. That's an alternative. But it means do for self. Make a long story short. So we want you to check these young brothers out right here.
Total, and we plan on quadrupling that number at full production, and that's still a drop in the hat for employment. There's hundreds of people looking for jobs in our neighborhood who are underemployed and unemployed without the right skill set. As a demographic, we're dealing with, about 70% government assistance benefits, third grade reading education on average, and 30% vacancy. We're up against all odds. So this is a community development-based business. So you have to live in our target zip codes to work here. And what we're really doing is trying to improve work skills and trade relations as the green industry is building in the city. And this is the first licensed aquaponics farm in the city of Detroit. How it all works is that we have a sprinkler system, and this is nutrient-rich fish water that has been processed and filtered, and it pumps upstairs. We emit it through these sprinklers for our aeroponics system. It oxygenates the roots, and so we get explosive growth, as you see here, to the point where eventually they'll dip down into the reservoir and pick up the excess silt left behind from the fish waste. All the plants you see here, we start them by seed back here in our germination area. At about a month and a half, the plants are large enough to implant to the system, which is what James is working on back here. Behind you on this side is our microgreen production area. So we're doing things like sunflower shoots, pea shoots, wheatgrass, bean sprouts, very lucrative crop that is actually much higher in antioxidants and essential oils than the actual full-grown adult crop, and it's fast. So microgreens are used mostly for salads, soup, sandwiches, stir fries, things like that. So when you think about traditional tilapia stock, it's coming from China and it's coming from Latin America. They're also heavily pumped with antibiotics and hormones just to keep them alive long enough to get to America, where we can buy 10 fillets for $3 to $4. Once females start breeding and producing eggs, they don't really grow, and so they lose their production value weight. So when they're babies, actually the main procedure is to introduce sex-reversing hormones. They'll turn females into males. Here, we do not we do not do that. So again, no antibiotics, no hormones, no steroids. None of that happens with the fish. We use organic, non-GMO food for the fish, and that's all they receive. This is our breeder set right here. By finding this breeder from Florida, we are able to produce about 98% male offspring. There's about 1,000 fish in this tank, another 1,600 in the tank behind you, another about 2,000 fish in that side of the system as young babies.
Another young scientist, you know, we need scientists. What he's doing is scientific, you know. Fish farming, inside farming. Y'all seen my what I'm doing in my own backyard. You got to work with what you got where you at. You know, that's the spirit of do for self. You got to work with what you got where you at. You know, and he's producing food. Now this is in the heart of Detroit City, close to downtown. One day we're gonna pay a live visit to this guy interviewing. You know, might give y'all some ideas, man. See, when you get brothers that just all they do is bump their gums, you know, like young Pharaoh, he talking about ain't nobody doing nothing. This is black power right here. Mental God power is black power. I said which is more valuable, the mind versus money versus land and resources. Well, the mind is what evolved that. They say the revolution will not be televised. No, because the revolution starts in the mind first. It's inside outward. You know, it starts within. You don't know what's going on in this person's mind when you look at him. He could be smiling and saying he gonna kill you, or he could be smiling and say I'm gonna help you. But in this case, the brother's not smiling. He's serious as a heart attack, and he's employing people in the neighborhood. Now, it don't matter what religion he belongs to. You know, it's a melanated brother that's doing for self. That's the point I'm trying to get across to all y'all brothers and sisters. Now, Cyrus said he live here in Detroit. All he doing is bumping his gums. You know, being a scholar, but not producing nothing but chaos. This is Black Light, all the way from the 313, Detroit, New Mecca. The spirit of do for self lives in temple number 1.